Hello, A Day with Caleb, and today we're going to talk about movies that set up a sequel but didn't get a sequel. And I think a lot of us can picture a couple movies in our mind's eye, that fit this criteria. Today I have a list of 19, I don't know why I didn't do 20, but 19 movies that fit into this category. And we'll start with probably the most famous example, that being Masters of the Universe. It totally set up a sequel, and I'm sure there were others, but this was kind of the first prime example of a post-credit scene before the MCU made made them famous at the end of Iron Man, with Nick Fury walking out and doing that post-credit scene. There were post-credit scenes. I think the most famous example of that is Ferris Bueller's Day Off, parodied or honored later by Deadpool when he did almost the same one. But Masters of the Universe, if it had a bit better box office, totally would have had a sequel. Then Catwoman set up a sequel, and some of these will be on other future videos or past videos, depending on when this comes out. But that failed miserably, and unlike Morbius, which is kind of so bad they're good, that's another video we're working on, and bad spin-off films, which I think Catwoman is in too, but that one kind of made fun of itself and became almost a meme, and you were all laughing along. Catwoman, not really, you were laughing at it, not with it, kind of thing. So that set up a sequel. The Mummy 2017 not only was supposed to set up a sequel, but it was quote unquote to launch the Dark Universe, even though Dracula Untold had to kind of hurriedly rush a post-credit scene which officially set up the Dark Universe, but Dracula Untold was kind of made, and then they kind of wanted to do this Dark Universe, so Mummy kind of tried to officially launch the Dark Universe and a sequel. Didn't do either one successfully. The Mummy 2017, a good movie, good action movie, good suspense movie, just not a good mummy movie, if that makes sense. I hope it does. I do collect Mummy 2017 variations as well as the first three, and Scorpion King. But I do go back time to time and watch the Mummy 2017. Justice League, same thing, was going to launch multiple films, Flash, and they kind of did a reverse. MCU did single films and then did the Avengers. DC EU did kind of a couple single films and then launched the Justice League with characters in that film, and then they would go off and do their other films, which never happened. Uh, in large part because Snyder unfortunately had family stuff he had to leave. Joss Whedon, who of him the first Avengers, took over, and not a good fit with the tone. He changed a lot of things. The Snyder Cut, a better film. Then Robin Hood, the Jamie Foxx Robin Hood, was setting up a sequel that didn't do as well at the box office, so that unfortunately could not get a sequel. And that was pretty good. Edgerton was the main guy in that film, correct? Uh, then the Amazing Spider-Man not only was supposed to get the Amazing Spider-Man 3, but also spin off the Sinister Six film and I think a Black Cat movie. But then the Sony leaks happened and they kind of shut that down. And then, of course, Tom Holland made his MCU appearance in Civil War and launched uh, a great trilogy of films. Homecoming being my favorite. Favorite Spider-Man, it would be right there with Spider-Man 2. But I watch Homecoming more than on repeat more than I do Spider-Man 2. So take that as you will. What's your favorite Spider-Man film? I should say that. Anybody remember the Nicholas Hammond kind of like TV slash movies? Anybody? Comment down below. Then Green Lantern, Ryan Reynolds in CGI suit form. He would play that, and then he would play a closed mouth Deadpool in Wolverine Origins before making a successful launch with Deadpool. And that was supposed to also spin off for the bad guy in Green Lantern. Oh, comment his name. Is it Sinestro? I think. I'm not as familiar with Green Lantern, even though I do have a lot of the comics. Fan Forstick, the Fantastic Four Josh Trank film following the success of Chronicles. We have another video, One Hit Wonders, directors and actors. He is on that list for a lot of reasons. One of the main reasons Fantastic Four failed at the box office. Frey versus Jason. For a long time, people thought there was going to be Frey versus Jason versus Ash, which would have been incredible, but we were just left with the one film, and you know, there's the versus kind of rage around that time, also with Aliens versus Predator, which did get a sequel. Maybe not a good sequel, but it got one. Then the Super Mario Brothers movie, not the recent animated Mario Brothers, but the Super Mario movie with Bob Hoskins? Yeah, he was in that, right? Roger Rabbit, he was in Super Mario Brothers, and that's in another video coming out in the near future. Movies so bad they're good. Then Judge Dredd. I think I meant to say Dredd, not Judge Dredd, not the Stallone movie where he takes off his mask, but the Dredd movie with Carl Urban, right? That was supposed to spin off a sequel. And Dredd, such a great movie with the, they kind of used this blasting air cannon and these like slow motion shots, which were really well done. We saw that in theaters with our friends, so that's a cool one. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo technically did get a sequel, but not with the same cast, not the same stories as the Swedish trilogy. I believe it's Swedish, which are really great. There's 3 movies. they technically did get a sequel, but not with the same cast. So I guess that technically still counts. A series of unfortunate events, uh, supposed to launch, I think, a whole trilogy with Jim Carrey. They did years later get a Netflix show, which is great, with our buddy Kronk from The Emperor's New Groove. Also, in the why am I blanking so hard? In the Epcot Pavilion, the Land Pavilion, Soren, he's in that. Uh, Great show. The Last Airbender, supposed to kick off some movies, but the Shamhammer delivered quite a mediocre film comparing to the show, which is a great animated show. The Nice Guys, great underrated kind of crime drama thriller that was supposed to spin off into other films. The A-Team, not the TV show, the action comedy with Liam Neeson, supposed to kick off a couple sequels, and that we also saw in theaters. I enjoy it. Don't really go back to it that often, but I do remember liking it quite well. But I did grow up with the show, and we listed A-Team twice. Oh, okay, 16, 16. So we still have 19. The 1998 Godzilla, the action kind of destruction movie, almost into the 2000s with Matthew Broderick, but they kind of reimagined Godzilla as more of like a lizard, which I guess technically in the older movies he's more of a dinosaur than a lizard, but anyway, semantics. That was supposed to get a sequel. We later would get Godzilla, kind of a remake in 2015, I believe. Comment down below. Then Pirates on Stranger Tides, the fifth movie, right? 2, 3. Yeah, I believe so. The last movie with Johnny Depp, the end kind of post-credits scene kind of teased that we would get the antagonist from the second Pirates movie, with Will and everything being back on land with Elizabeth. That was teased, but we have yet to see that being delivered on screen, with Disney firing Johnny Depp and then him having the trial and winning, but them not really wanting to come back to that. Or I guess Johnny Depp probably would want to, but there's so many other factors, diminishing box office returns, and other factors. Disney struggling to make a good movie right now. Although this summer, I guess technically last summer now, was great for Disney. Then we end with number 19, The Rocketeer. Was supposed to set up a couple more movies, and that is a great film. Actually, at Hollywood Studios, if you go kind of down the street there is a stand where the Rocketeer helmet and backpack, the rocket, is located, screen used, so that is fun. Look up details for that, but like, subscribe, share with a movie lover. Hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, keep collecting.